Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thriving Thursdays with Alexandria Nicole. I am your host and proprietor. Okay, so if you're new here, our podcast is meant to inspire and inform listeners by featuring intimate conversations and interviews with successful professionals, business owners, and thought leaders. Our podcast aims to share stories, insights, and strategies to help you thrive in your own careers and ventures. Each episode provides valuable advice and actionable tips that you can apply to achieve your own goals and succeed in your own fields. We are brought to you by our national community of business owners, professionals, and creatives that I so humbly founded. Elevate your growth. And today we have Sean Douglas, the founder of the Success Core. Love that name, Sean. That's so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So where did your journey begin? Where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Are you still there or did you move at some point?
Oh, I moved all around the world. I
Yeah.
spent 20 years in the military
Mhm.
and joined when I was 18, right after 9/11. And I have lived, worked, and led teams in pretty much every country.
Yeah.
And now that I'm retired, I am back in Michigan.
Oh, wow. I love that. So how old were you when you started your adventures and you started to move and, expand beyond Detroit?
Yeah, I was 18 when 9/11 happened, and then went into basic training in San Antonio, Texas for Air Force basic training,
Hmm.
and then was in tech school in Texas, and then my first duty station was England,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I've been pretty much all over the place after that, and finished my career in North Carolina,
Oh, okay.
and then moved for a little bit, was in Utah and a couple other places for a little bit, but rested in back home in Michigan where I belong.
Oh, so you're growing up in Michigan. You leave home when you're 18 to serve and protect our country. At any point in time, did you think, I want to open my own business?
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
So
Yeah.
at what point did you begin to pursue business ownership then?
Fourth grade.
Really? So what were you doing? Selling candy on the
Nope.
schoolyard?
Nope.
What were you doing?
Nope. Nope. Michigan gets a lot of snow, so I'll shovel in driveways.
Yes, I love that.
Yep. And then I
Yes.
had a wagon and I pushed a lawnmower and a wagon, towed a wagon, and did raking leaves, shoveling snow, mowing grass, like all the yard stuff
Yeah.
through fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. Even through like seventh, eighth, ninth, like I did, all the shoveling snow, not so much grass and everything else, but always shoveling snow.
Yeah.
And then I had a paper route when I was in ninth grade, started doing paper routes, and then had some jobs here in between, but was always working on cars and doing kind of odd jobs and things just to make money.
Yeah.
Joined the military in 01, and then in 04 I actually opened up my first business, and it was an entertainment company producing conferences, events, weddings, receptions, DJing at clubs, bars, the MTV stuff that you used to see all the time for spring break in Panama
Yeah.
City, Florida. We produced a lot of foam parties at like Club La Vila and a couple other different places. So yeah, it was a good time. And then I've built 4 businesses while serving in the military, and
Wow.
I can think of nothing else I'd rather do than be a business owner.
My goodness. So were your parents entrepreneurs too? And they just kind of
Yes.
hit that seed or, oh, okay. So
My
you saw it.
uncle My uncle owns a hot rod shop in Imlay City. My aunt is the marketing director for a lot of former Detroit Lions players who have gone on to build businesses and is Herman Moore's right-hand person. My mom owned her own home health care company, and then she sold that and is actually a director at a long-term care facility.
Wow. So the entrepreneurial spirit, it had a history in your family. So were
Oh,
they
yeah.
encouraging to you then for you to pursue your dreams? Because that's a lot of people's stories is they're first generation entrepreneurs. So not only do they have to overcome their own limiting beliefs and
Mhm.
their mindsets, but they have to deal with the kind of, the outside opinions of family. But in your case, were they supportive? I imagine so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody was really supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in pursuit of my dreams, whatever that was, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't not supportive of me getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
My one aunt is the general manager of the service department at a GM dealership at Hamilton Chevrolet in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody says like, "Oh, you should have been an entrepreneur." Like
Right.
nobody says that, right?
Right.
My grandfather was in the Korean War in the army and then worked at Ford and retired from Ford's when, after like 30 years was up. And then he's pretty much gone on to have a couple other different businesses and different jobs and stuff that he's done. And, he passed away back in 2013, but,
Oh, sorry.
nobody said, gosh, why are you going to go do that? My family is really supportive of whatever it is in the pursuit of your dreams and happiness.
That is such a blessing. So you come up with the name Success Core and tell
Mhm.
everybody what it is that you guys focus on and how you serve your clientele.
Yeah. Yeah. So the success score is about unlocking your true potential and elevating your life. And it's taken on so many things since I created it in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mastermind. It was an online course. It was so many things, but now it has turned into, and what I've kind of always thought it was going to be is a speaker agency.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've we've launched books and podcasts. We've bought and sold a handful of podcasts. There's a ton of things that we've done, but I think now, because I have a show called Create, Launch, Monetize, and I'm rebranding that show into the Book to Paid Speaker Blueprint, we're focusing more on speaking and creating and launching and monetizing a speaker business for people
Right.
rather
Right.
than just any old business, which is what we used to focus
Yeah.
on before. I think we're going to I know we are narrowing down into the Book to Paid Speaker Blueprint. And that's what we're going to focus on and harness on, because a lot of speakers have other businesses
Right.
and they use speaking to fuel their coaching business. They
Mm-hmm.
use speaking to get clients into their leadership coaching. They use
Mm-hmm.
speaking to get people into their online courses. And
Yeah.
so instead of doing all of those things, we're going to focus on speaking, which drives revenue for other things.
Okay. So you're kind of pivoting people's thought process about how to
Mm-hmm.
approach speaking outside of the realm of using it for
Yes.
lead generation, right?
Yes. Yes.
So your interpretation of speaking and monetizing it and people. So in my mind, I'm listening and I'm hearing you, and I'm thinking that what it is that the Success Corp does is you want to help people position to fully make a career out of their teaching skills, out of their speaking skills, and like
Yes.
not necessarily have some type of offer or a pitch or an upsell at the end, but come with so much preparation and you add so much value that you are paid a certain amount to show up to teach, and then you move on to your next assignment, and instead of
Absolutely.
this is just the gateway and here's a 10 other things I can offer, right?
Yes. Correct.
So what was your train of thought behind helping people and speakers and business owners make that pivot?
because a lot of speakers that I talked to were sick of speaking for exposure. They were
Uh-huh.
sick of
Uh-huh.
they were sick of paying to play with nothing to show for it. And so
Mhm.
I've done it. I've done the pay the $5,000 to speak on stage and I've gotten nothing, but I've also spoken for $5,000 and made 30,000 in sales.
Mhm.
So like I've already done it. I have already done the speaking for the exposure part and done like everybody's kind of got to
Yeah.
do that, right?
Yeah.
But some people get stuck in that and what I call the invisible speaker booking trap. You're invisible to the world. You're stuck in the trap of paying to play. You're stuck in the trap of speaking to exposure, which has its merits. Like this right now is speaking for exposure. Podcasting is speaking for exposure. But speaking at a 500 person conference because you look like a free speaker and you were paid free is something very different than speaking at a 500 person conference for 5,000 or 10,000 because you look like a 5 or 10,000 person
Mhm.
dollar speaker, right?
Right,
So
right.
so that's all I teach people to do is pivot from looking like a free speaker to looking like a 5 or 10K speaker.
Yes, and so that's about you also are helping them position themselves properly in the
Mhm.
marketplace so they
Correct.
are attracting corporate conversations and people that
Yes.
understand the value of what it means for leadership training and all of these various things that we're skilled in, um, but are ready to have really candid conversations about our value and our worth and what they're willing to pay, as opposed to, yeah, come onto our stage and empower our team and this will be great exposure for you.
Yeah, I make the joke that like, yep, my rent is 400 exposures or 1,400 exposures. And they're like, sir, sir, sir. I actually one time it was so funny. I actually there was a company that I was talking to, a very large, like this isn't like a small business. Okay. This is like it's like a large business. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking like we don't really pay our speakers. I'm like, you don't pay your speakers? She goes, well, there's enough people that want to speak on our stage that we don't have to. Like, ah. Now,
Yeah.
Funnel Hacking Live is a very large event. That doesn't happen anymore, but is a very large event.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of people that I know that speak on that stage. I speak at Podfest. Podfest is a podcasting conference for indie pods that have 1,500 people that go there. I
Hmm.
speak there pretty much every year.
Hmm.
I do it because I want to, not because I have to. I love speaking. I love podcasting. And I'm friends with the people who run the show.
Yeah.
So any way I can support them. But I think what I've come to realize is that I don't think I need to prop up the $100 billion companies who just don't want to pay speakers because they think that their stage is something that people want to speak on. And I
Hmm.
and so I candidly told them I was like, well, I'm a paid speaker, and usually when I speak, you know, I'm usually paid for it. Speaker fee,
Yeah.
whether it be 5,000, 10,000, it's just I'm a paid speaker. And they're like, well, we don't pay our speakers. I'm like, that's okay. So that's someone else's stage, just not for me.
Yeah.
Um, like a year or something after that, I've gotten my third TEDx talk by this point. I bought and sold a handful of podcasts, and they were looking for speakers, and somebody recommended that they talk to me. So I got an email that said, hey, we talked a year ago. You come highly recommended, so, and I said, unless you're paying your speakers, they're like, well, I think we can come up with a budget. And I'm like, unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Ended up speaking to him you know, for an hour, but
I have that shared experience where, based on how I'm positioned online and the community and all the various things that we're doing, I get a lot of people, a lot of inbound inquiries about speaking. And just as quickly as it's people, wanting me to speak at no cost,
yep.
I say, this is how I rebuff it. So I say to they say, hey, Alexandria, you're so great. I saw you on such and such, or we looked through your LinkedIn or your Facebook profile. We love you so much. We'd love you to come speak on this stage. And I say, thanks so much. My speaking fees start at XYZ.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep. Crickets.
Cricket.
So what I would email back is, what is the budget that you're trying to stay within to bring in an interactive and engaging and high energy speaker that is going to rock your stage?
Oh, I love that response, Sean. That's so good. That's so good.
So give it back to him with the question, because the presupposition part of the brain will always want to find an answer to a question. And they will always email you with well, and they'll try to answer it as best they can.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
we don't have the budget at this time, and kind of haul you, or they will come up with the revenue, because just you will sometimes find, just like you said, when you get the rebuff about the budget, they're just they're initially reaching out hoping that you'll do it for free. And if you'll do it for free, they can keep that 10K. They can keep that 5K for your speaker fee now and put that towards something else.
And that's what that lady told me. There's so many people lining up for our stage because we have a prestigious company and a prestigious event that we don't actually have to pay the speakers. Like, like, that's just, to me, that's dirty. Hey, you run your company however you want. But like, she's not wrong. That's the funny part. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to speak at a $1 billion company. You know, it's like saying, like, oh my God, I got to speak at Google. I spoke at Google. You know, like, congratulations. You weren't paid, but any leads come from it? Like, if no leads come from it, like, again, you're back to speaking for exposure. You know, it looks great on a resume. That's why I have 3 TEDx talks. It looks great on a resume. Doesn't mean I actually got paid for it. Doesn't mean I actually got leads. But being a TEDx speaker does put me ahead of some other speakers who don't have a TEDx.
Yeah. So there are some aspects of it that help you build up that credibility for your brand. Yes. When you have those type of accolades and associated, because what that conveys is that you have been chosen out of thousands of other people to present on this stage. Plus you have your intellectual property. Now you just go and you prepare and you speak, but now you have video and you have all these things that the TEDx took themselves. So now you can turn that into a speaker reel, and it's got its benefits, right? But I do think that there's a time and a place, and we also have to understand our own value, and we have to be one with our personal boundaries, or we will continue to say yes to the things that we have surpassed.
Yes, you know, absolutely. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. So when you're preparing people through the Success Corps, what does that look like? Are you, helping with them with their social media positioning? Are you helping them with their media kit? Are you doing mindset work? How are you sewing into your clients?
Yeah. So the first thing that we do is figure out the problem that they solve. And we use a business discipline called category design. And once we create all of the positioning based off of the category design discipline, then we can start looking for the gigs. We can start positioning them correctly on social media, on podcasts, in the media, and on stages. But it all revolves around the problem that they solve, because people essentially don't buy their way into solutions. It's not like they're going to Barnes and Noble and just grabbing a book off the shelf and going, this one looks good.
Right.
They're buying their way out of a specific problem, and they're looking for the person that can solve that problem. So as a speaker, you're selling problems and you're selling outcomes. That's it. Yeah. If you can master selling a problem and selling an outcome, your calendar is going to be filled. And so that's what I do. I teach people how to sell problems and sell outcomes.
Yes, I find that a lot in the people that I work with, that no matter where they are, in their business journey, whether they're year 3 or year 10, because we're always ever evolving, but knowing how to articulate the problem that you solve. What are you creating solutions for?
Yep.
And being able to convey that when someone asks you in a way that they understand what you mean.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Exactly.
we know what we're passionate about. We know what we're called to do, how we're called to serve people. But conveying that in a way to where it captivates somebody and they immediately understand, and they are like, my God, that's, I was just having a conversation with my staff about this being one of our
Hmm.
issues. Like, what do we have to do so that we can work with you? Being able to frame it in that way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's so
I've
good.
had conversations with people and I'm like, holy smokes, man. I actually don't know what you do. Like I'm so lost. You
Yeah.
gave me some proprietary solution on something, something, something. Like I don't even know what that's for. But when
Yeah.
people talk in problems, that's why value proposition statements are so important.
Yes.
Probably the least important asset that a speaker has is their one sheet.
You said the least?
Least important piece.
Oh my goodness. So you got to tell me what the most important. Do you think it's the value proposition?
The value proposition and the speaker reel. Event planners want to see you
Ah.
speaking. That's it. Every single conversation that I've ever had with an event planner
Mm-hmm.
has said, "Do you have video of you speaking? Can you send over some video? Where can we see your reels? Where can we see your social media?" They
Yeah.
want to see you in action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the one sheet's good for like a podcaster, for like an intro, what I've never ever created a one sheet, not ever. And none of my clients have one sheets, none of them. And they're all getting paid between 35 and 5,000 to go speak on stages.
Oh,
They're
that's
all
powerful.
the,
Mm-hmm.
the none of them have one sheets. It's good to pass around the committee, but guess what they want to see? They want to see you speaking. Do you have a website? Do you have a speaker reel? Do you have a keynote talk? Does your
Mm.
keynote talk fit with what they're talking about? Does your keynote talk fit in the realm of the problem that they're solving? I need a leadership speaker. Well, that narrows it down. There's 50 million of those guys.
Right.
So I just have a conversation with them. Here's
Yeah.
what I tell them. Here's what I tell them. They're like, oh, we're looking for a very, very dynamic speaker. We need somebody who's going to keep the energy up and give us some really good tips on how to be great leaders. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I've got what I call a conversational keynote experience. It is never death by PowerPoint. It is always interactive. It's engaging. It's high energy, and we have a ton of fun. And I've lived, worked, and led teams all around the world. And what you will get with me is a very different experience than what most speakers will deliver. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, I am not death by PowerPoint, but I do have key takeaways that you will learn how to be the best leader in your industry. And they're like, oh my God, I love that. Let's do it.
Yes, that's so good. And it's such an actionable task because I teach our community that video is the highest form of trust, right?
Yes.
So when speakers, I
Yes.
see a lot of time when a speaker is, they're ready to hit the stage, they feel like, they've done enough free stuff, and the first thing they do, they want to get headshots of them with a microphone. I'm like, those still shots are not conveying the story that you want to tell. It's fine for your digital real estate, for your profile positioning to convey that
Yep.
that's what you do. However,
Yep.
you need some proof of concept because
Yep.
there's so many different ways to teach and engage. I am somebody, when I speak, I'm not just going to stand up on the stage and talk at you. I'm not going to throw lessons
Right.
at you. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to engage. I'm going to call you out. Your heart's going to get pumping with me because I'm
Yep.
going to say, you look like you have a question. Stand
Yep.
up. Your outfit is fabulous. You are embodying what you want your brand to convey. Everybody, look at this person. She's winning.
Yep.
I am engaging with my people. However,
Yep.
if you do not convey that in video, you will miss out on so many opportunities because people
Yep.
want to see it. They want to see how you articulate, how you engage, what kind of energy you bring, because it's very different. Some people might want the kind of stuff, shirt, conservative, quiet, very corporate. very conservative, they may want that. And so they're going to go through those videos and they are going to assess whether that's what they want. Or if you're high energy and you've got, you're bringing it and people are excited, that's going to be conveyed in your speaker reel.
Yep, 100%. Nailed it.
So good. So let me ask you, I ask every guest, this is so good. So when you hear the term your network is your net worth, what does that actually look like in your personal journey?
So my first thought every time I hear that is your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
I always equate it back to your net worth is equal to your network.
Mm.
So
okay. Very good.
I'm pretty sure it's saying the same thing, but whenever I hear somebody go, your network is your net worth, I just think, well, your net worth is directly tied to the people that you hang out with and the attitudes and the energy and the beliefs and all the things that make you a person. It's tied directly to that. So we see a lot of scammers online and we know that they are, but guess what? Social media has a way of snuffing them out. And we will always fail. I mean, look at the CEO, the whole Coldplay thing, like you will be snuffed out fast. Guaranteed. Because now there's no hiding. People take a screenshot, they put it into ChatGPT. Please identify this person. ChatGPT does it in about 5 seconds. You cannot hide, my friend.
Yes.
So now you got to live in core values. Now you got to live in your value.
Yes.
And money is the byproduct of the value that you deliver. That's how it looks like in my life. Money is the byproduct of every good thing that I do. If I'm building great relationships, if I'm delivering extreme amounts of value, monetarily, I will be rewarded.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
So good. It's so good. It's so true. And it's imperative. I love how when you said it's a combination of who it is that you're exposed to, you're hanging around, attitude, everything, and being rooted in your core values and being rooted in operating with integrity. We have to. It can take one fantastic person to change your life, or it can take one deeply troubled and flawed person to change it in a different way as well. So we have the right and the responsibility to be selective about who we allow into our circles. That's why Elevate Your Growth, we have an application process, because that's just one more way. That's one thing that we can put in place to make sure that we're protecting the people that we serve and that we come alongside and that we're helping win in business. It's not going to work 100%. Sometimes you got to be in the trenches with somebody to realize, oh, this person's not who I thought they were. So that's just life. However, that intentionality in assessing people and practicing discernment on who is in your circle is paramount, especially if you want to live a life of impact and significance and, bringing people joy and bringing people opportunities to change their life. If you actually want to live where there's your motivator, you have to be selective about who's in your network. Do you agree?
100%. Yep. There's only 2 ways in life to build the tallest building and to be the best. You either build the tallest building or you tear down everybody else's.
Oh, Sean. Wow. My goodness.
That's the key to life. You either build the tallest building and help everybody build theirs, or you tear down everybody else's and try to keep yourself above everybody else. I choose to live in love and kindness.
Yeah, me too.
And I choose to be resilient. And I choose to build relationships. And so a rising tide truly lifts all ships.
Oh.
So I just choose to build the tallest building and help everybody build theirs.
My goodness, Sean, that's a shirt right there. We are builders.
Yes.
We need to split the intellectual property on that idea.
right. I have a shirt.
Uh-huh.
So one of the companies that I created was an empowerment and entrepreneur clothing line called Live Your Brand.
Oh, I love
that. And there's a shirt that we have that says build the future, and it's all in like architecture, blueprint, like
Yeah.
lettering. It
Yeah.
says build the future.
Oh, that's good. I mean, and that aligns so beautifully with what we were talking about, because I've never actually heard it articulated in that way, of where two ways to build: tearing other people down or coming alongside people to help them build. And that is so true. Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
good. So, can you share a moment where you've been connected to the right community, or you've been connected to the right person, and it was just a turning point in your professional or your personal growth journey?
Jeez. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I can't, I can't think. I mean, everything just kind of flooded that way. Putting myself in the right rooms at the right time, in and out of the military. My aunt being at the right place at the right time, helping some of the former Detroit Lions players build some of their businesses, and then she becomes their CMO, and then it just grows and grows and grows and grows. It's like, it's crazy
Yeah.
that I have a family that has networked. My mom, my uncle, my aunt, my grandfather. People used to tell me, they're like, "Oh, you're Hank's son or grandson? Wow, what a great man." And I would come around like his circle of influence, and I was immediately rewarded just because I was his grandson. And so that was a lot of pressure. And
Okay.
I want my kids to feel that pressure. I want to walk into a room and they go, "That's your dad? Oh man, he's amazing." And them go, "Oh crap." Like I want them to feel that pressure of like, "No, I set the bar,"
Yes.
and I think a generational bar that
Mm,
could be set,
yeah.
from grandparent to parent to child to, I mean, all the way down, you
Yeah.
know, I
That's so.
just, I think that's the best way to go.
And that's, it made me think about something I keep coming back to, where a lot of times as entrepreneurs and business owners, we plant the seed and then we attempt to rush the harvest. But what that
Yes.
conveys to me too is thinking about the harvest beyond our own lineage. Like, your grandfather essentially planted such a robust seed and was so intentional about how he cared for his seeds, that his harvest is affecting generations. So everything that he's cultivated is affecting your life directly, and
Hmm.
affecting how you move in rooms and the opportunities that you are granted, because of how he moved with integrity and how he planted and he was patient and he sowed into people and added value to the point that people are admiring him, and that by default admiring you for being
Hmm.
related to him.
Hmm.
So it
Yeah.
is not only our job to be patient for ourselves, it's our job to be patient for our legacy too.
Yeah. So as you were talking, I'm taking in everything that you're saying, and my mind just goes in a bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
And what I want to say to that is, two farmers prayed for rain, and only one cultivated the field. Which one received the rain?
Mm.
It's not enough to just say, "Oh, I want to be this way." You got to do the work,
Gotta do the work.
and you got to be willing to receive.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
where
that's
most people fail. They do the work and they keep on praying and they do the work, but they don't actually stop for a second and let go of all the baggage and all the things. And it's like saying it's hard to hug a porcupine. When people are ugly, I just tell them, like, you have the day you deserve. It's hard to hug a porcupine. So
that is so good. You are filled. You are filled with hilarious one-liners, Sean. That is so good. Oh my goodness.
I do
Yes.
stand up too. but
Clearly.
clearly, allegedly, not very good.
That's so
But it's just it's not enough to want to become it, right? The desire. It takes work, and it takes consistent work. And once you can master those strategies, and once you can master the consistency in having conversations and building relationships, the byproduct of that is abundance. And abundance is always there. It's everywhere.
yes.
You just got to know where to look. You got to know what
Yeah.
rooms to go.
Mhm.
You got to know what people to talk to. And you got to be willing to receive. And some people are like, oh, I'm ready to receive. But you're not, because you're harboring old wounds, or those grudges that you're holding on to. Like when you are ready to receive, it's not just, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, give it to me. Let's go. I've been working. Like it's there's a state that you got to be in.
Mm,
It's that calm, collected, I'm praying for rain. It's coming. I know it's coming. And faith is not the absence of doubt. Faith is the overcoming of doubt. And
absolutely.
you've got to cultivate that faith. That's that field that you're constantly cultivating, is the field of faith.
Yes.
And it takes work every day. It's like taking a shower. You got to take a shower every day, or at least minimum every other day. Otherwise, you got the world stank. You got to wash that stank off. Well, got to cultivate that faith every day.
That's so good. Oh my goodness. And making sure in the process, oh my goodness, to understand that you have to have delayed gratification,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because that's such a huge component of people planting the seed and watering the seed and then feeling like, oh, it's been a day and there's a sprout, let's forget about it. So that consistency
Uh,
part you were talking about,
oh
you have
yeah.
to be consistent, because some seeds will not reap a harvest until years down the road of you
Yep.
add value and sowing into a space and continuously showing up, showing and conveying that you can count on, somebody can count on you, right?
Yep.
Because you're
Yep.
constantly showing up. And it's just, it makes me so sad that people just give up on themselves and give up on their journeys if it doesn't happen as quickly as they feel like it should. You know,
Yep.
really just selling themselves short and taking away from the people that they're meant to impact, and the lives they're meant to change, including themselves, because they want to rush the process. And don't get me wrong now, I constantly have to pray and speak to myself and say this is gonna happen in God's time. Like I'm not just,
Oh man.
I'm not sitting crisscross zinned out every single day, but I understand and I recognize it's imperative to the journey that you have to do the work to be patient and let things happen when they're going to happen, and do the work and remain consistent and have faith that it will come through.
I
Oh,
always
good.
that was really good. Drop the mic, girl.
No,
Like it.
I'm talking about you, Sean. Just what you say. I cannot wait for people to see this, and for you have just given so much insight, so much incredible strategies with speakers and people on their business journeys. This is absolutely fantastic. So our last question is, what is your favorite snack?
Okay, my favorite snack.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say two?
Sure.
Okay. It is the pretzel and goldfish mixed with the explosive cheddar.
What is that?
Exactly. Next time you're in the snack aisle,
Uh-huh.
go look at the goldfish, and it's like a
Okay.
purple, like in half, and then an orange, and
Okay.
it's pretzels and goldfish in one bag, and it's explosive cheddar.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's fantastic.
really okay.
It's fantastic. I love those things. It's the pretzel goldfish mixed. There's like little
Okay.
pretzel gold. So goldfish has the regular goldfish crackers. Then you
Right,
have pretzel goldfish crackers. Well, they combined them
right. Okay.
like geniuses that they are, and they have explosive cheddar flavor. Oh my god, it's fantastic.
You got a good.
Somebody with a kid right now. Somebody with a kid's like, yeah, preach.
Yeah, they know exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna get some for my
Yeah.
dogs because they love goldfish too.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god. You gotta find it. You gotta find it. You gotta find the mixed bag. And then my also tied my favorite snack is the know the brand. It's like Hidden Valley or something like that, but it's a ranch packet, but it's like a dip. Okay.
Of
And
course.
you mix it with sour cream.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then you got your cucumbers and your celery, and I will dip and eat that all day long. It is better than any dip that you will ever have.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the
my husband
ranch dip
does
in sour cream.
he does that all the time. We mix it with lactate sour cream because one of our
Yes.
daughters is
Yes.
lactose
Yep.
intolerant.
Same.
So we use that like whenever
Same.
we're gonna do like a nugget or like
Yeah.
something that calls for ranch. Whenever we just feel
Oh yeah.
grits and
It's the
ranch or
best.
whatever,
Hidden
he
Valley, I
breaks
think it
out
is.
that Hidden Valley. It is Hidden
Yep.
Valley, yeah, because it's
Oh
powder
my god.
and he
It's
mixes
so
it with
good.
lactate.
It is
Yeah,
so good. And that
it is
sour
so good.
cream just gives it that, right? And the colder it gets, the better it
Oh
tastes.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
fantastic.
You gotta let it set up for a little bit
Yep.
in the
Oh
refrigerator
yeah.
for sure.
Yep. Yep. Gotta let it congeal a little bit.
Yeah.
Let the flavor set in.
Oh my goodness, this was an absolute pleasure, Sean. And we have come to the portion of our podcast where we pray. Now, if you gotta go now, everybody watching because you don't pray, I completely understand. We love you anyway. But for us in our podcast, we pray. So, Sean, would you like to close us out in prayer?
Sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
Heavenly Father, we come to you with open hearts and open minds. We talked about faith and we talked about cultivating the field. And God, please direct our steps in cultivating our own fields and our own gardens so that we can reap your harvest, the one that you've so promised so many times. Allow us to walk in your steps. Allow us to walk into your glory. And God, open the doors that you need opened for us to realize our own truths, and close the doors and close the chapters that we keep stepping through and we keep reading. Open the doors, Lord, that you have told us that are available to us and for us to walk through. We thank you, God, for everything that you've done for us and will do for us. And we ask all of this through your son, Jesus. Amen.
Oh, amen. Amen. Thank you so much for being here. Tell the people how they can find you, Sean.
Yeah, my website is the Success Course, spelled CORPS.com. I am all over Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find me everywhere and would love to have a conversation with you or answer any questions at any time.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us today, Sean. And everybody who's watching, we have our huge annual event coming up. It is called Corks, Connections, and Costumes this year. We are incorporating masquerade. So all you have to do is visit EYGEvents.com to get your ticket, or you can just simply text Corks to 843-4648-3875. That's 843-648-3875, you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you right here, same time next week for Thriving Thursdays with Alexandria and Nicole. Thank you again, Sean. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, we're honored to have you, my friend. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.